welcome back to another D French guitar lesson. My name is Darren and I will be your instructor for today. Today we're going to focus on what I like to call pivot chords. And pivot chords are very important, especially for a beginning guitar player, because it'll help you learn how to play efficiently and economically with as little effort as you can possibly make. One of the challenges for a guitar player is to get from point A to point B with the least amount of resistance. So pivot chords are what they sound like. We call them pivot chords because you're going to have one finger on the guitar at all times. And the four chords today that we're going to learn that are going to incorporate this technique are the E minor, C major, D7, and G major. And again, don't worry about what minor means or 7 means or major means. We're going to learn all that at some point. Right now, I just want you to get familiar with the names of the chords and start playing them. We'll get into the theory at another time. Theory will come later. Okay, so the first chord we're going to do is our E minor. We learned this last time. E minor is one of the nice chords to begin with because it's only using 2 fingers and they're right by each other on the same fret, so you're not doing a big stretch, you're not reaching too far. Your first finger is going to go on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your second finger is going to go on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And you have a lot of open notes. Notice that it's all open. There's nothing that you have to mute or avoid, so it's just a nice chord to really warm up with. It's just nice and big. Nothing's really muted. Remember, if you kind of hear this, that means you're not pushing hard enough, so you got to maybe put a little effort down there, push a little harder. If you hear this, that means that your second finger is probably touching the string below it and muting it, so you got to make sure all your strings are working independently. And they can all ring out and get that nice big sound that we all love. Okay, so that's our E minor chord. The next one we're going to do is a C major. Okay, so from going to E minor to C major, we're going to keep our second finger on the fretboard. That's going to stay where it is. We're just going to bring our 3rd finger up here to the 3rd fret, 5th string, and our first finger down here to the 2nd string, 1st fret. And notice on the diagram that this last string is muted out, so we don't want to play this. So I like to either bring my thumb around and mute it if we can. If that's a little too much right now as a beginner, don't worry about it. Just focus on starting on this 5th string here. That's your C. If you add that, it gets a little muddy, and we want it to make it sound nice and pretty. So I'm muting that string. That's my C major chord. Okay. The next chord is going to go from a C major to a D7. And again, don't worry about what the 7 means. We are going to get to that at some point. Going from C major to D7, your first finger is going to stay on the fretboard. You're just going to bring your second finger down 1 string and your 3rd finger down here to the 1st string. So you have your second finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, first finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string, and your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string. And again, notice that these 2 strings have X's on them. That means you do not want to play them. It gets a little muddy. So you're going to start on this 4th string right here. This is your D. And that gets a little challenging. You'll figure it out eventually, but just try to avoid those low strings because it does just kind of muddy it up. Okay, that's your D7 chord. Okay, the next chord is a G major. So to go from a D7 to a G major, you're going to take your 3rd finger and slide it up 1 fret, and then keeping your fingers in the same position, just bring them down here to the last 2 strings. So your second finger is on your 3rd fret, 6th string, first finger is on your 2nd fret, 5th string, and your 3rd finger is all the way down here at the bottom on the 1st string, 3rd fret. So this chord gets a little challenging for beginning players because you're starting to stretch a little bit and you're starting to teach your fingers to do things that they normally don't want to do. So what you want to be careful is that your hand isn't touching these open strings. So all these strings in the middle are open. And you want those to ring out real nice on top of the strings that you are playing, or the notes that you are playing. Okay, so that's your G major. So again, we go from E minor, C major, D7, to G major. Let's do it one more time. E minor, C major, D7, G major. Okay? So now let's do a rhythm pattern. Let's just do a straight downward strumming motion. 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All we're going to do is 4 counts for each chord. And we're going to go kind of fast, but the thing is, because of this pivot technique, your fingers are already going to be in place a lot of times. So it's going to be a little easier than you think. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we get to the end, we want to repeat, because songs don't last for 3 seconds, they go longer. So we're going from the G major back to the E minor. Well, notice your first finger is still on the guitar in an E minor position. Keep that there and just bring your second finger down here to the 4th string, 2nd fret. You're back there on the E minor. Okay, so let's do it again, and then we're going to repeat and do the same pattern over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? So again, those are called pivot chords. And there's 4 chords that we're using for this one. E minor, C major, D7, G major. Okay, I hope this was helpful for everybody. If you like, again, go ahead and subscribe. So you'll find other videos on this channel that'll help you out and other things you might be looking for. Again, the nice thing is you can go back and watch them again. You can stop them, practice, repeat, do whatever you need to do to get better at what we're working on here. So again, be patient with yourself. Learning an instrument is not easy. It takes time and dedication, but I promise you will get better. All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you.